Hello and welcome to this episode of Sales Secrets from the Top 1%, where the world's best sales experts share their secrets to sales success. And I'm thrilled, honored, humbled, and grateful to have with me today Jordan Paris. Jordan is the host of the Growth Mindset University, which is one of Apple's top 15 educational podcasts in the world. And he's only 22 years old. Interviewed Grant Cardone, Dan Locke, James Altucher, David Mettler, and hundreds of other successful guests. He's also an Amazon bestselling author with his new book, which I believe hit today, right?
Yes,
Amazon. The podcast playbook, where he shares all of his experience to give you the game plan, the secrets, the strategies for podcast success, along with the best methods for making money as a top podcaster without any ad revenue. Jordan. He's also the host of the Growth Mindset University, the Growth Mindset, everything. You want to grow, this is the guy you follow. Jordan, thanks so much for joining us today.
Hey, Brandon, I appreciate you. I was thinking, pre-roll, like he's got a good voice to listen to. I like your podcast voice too, man. I like this. Awesome. I'm thrilled to be on the podcast.
Yeah, and the goal is, what's interesting is you're a young entrepreneur, whatever it takes, writer, author, entrepreneur, business owner, podcaster. So I thought this would be a lot of fun, right? Like the book, Sales Secrets, is all about what are your top sales secrets. And I know in the pre-roll, we went over some things, but like I was just telling the audience, for those just tuning in, like I'm kind of amazed. How did you write a book at 20? How did you write another book at 22? How did you get started with the podcast? Where is this motivation? What are the secrets to wanting to do these things? Like, where did that come from? And then let's share like the sales secrets, and also let's get into some marketing secrets. How do you go from 0 to number 15 podcasts? How do you go from, you and I both interviewed Grant Cardone. You and I both interviewed a lot of the same guests. Like, how did you do it? What was your story? Like, that's a sales secret. To get in a room with these guys and to have them exchange their time with you, which is money, you have to know how to sell them. So I'm really excited to just take it from the top, man. Like,
sure.
Walk me through from the beginning to now, quick background.
Yeah. I get out of this serving job after 2 years when I'm 18, and I said never again. Never will I work for anyone ever again. And I'm really glad I serve at? Oh, that was a good question. Not many people dig deeper. You're a good podcaster, man. I got the eye for a good podcast. That's good.
I just want to know, right?
Yeah.
Was it like Outback Steakhouse?
No, it was
like Red Lobster?
Firebird's wood-fired grill. It's more of a Northeastern thing. There's like one in Orlando though.
Like pizza and steaks.
No. It's just like normal American cuisine, and it's like kind of expensive-ish, a little bit more expensive than a normal restaurant. So like, with tips, I was like making, for an 18-year-old, I was like, between $10 and $20 per hour.
Yeah,
which,
still secret
as a busboy though, I was like between $9 and $15 per hour, which 16, 17, 18-year-old, really good.
When I was like 14 to 18, I did it the hard way. Sales secret, do the server, do the thing that you just did, because the hourly rate is so high compared to any other job that you could get at that age. I did Dairy Queen. Did fucking Express Clothes, Abercrombie, the guy that folds and sells this shit. I know Phil, who helped set this up, he did the same thing. And like, God, you're just
that's a pointless job. I think you actually are getting some good life experience and sales experience as a server. There's a lot of good benefits to get out of having that job as a young person.
100%.
As far as working at Dairy Queen, I mean, it's just
that was like 14. That was like a 14-year-old job. But
that's the only job you can get at 14. Might as well.
Right. It was whatever. Had a lot of random jobs. So you do the server thing.
So I do that, and then I decide I think I want to be a personal trainer, and I see someone doing it real well in the industry, celebrity trainer, and
nice.
I
Who's
I
the celebrity trainer?
So it's Steve Jordan, and he works. He's trained Jordan Belfort, Tobey Maguire, Ariana Huffington, Brad Paisley. I could go on.
What? So how do you get connected with him?
Yeah. He was been best friends with my uncle for the past 40 years. I grew up in the same town, Clark, New Jersey. Hadn't seen
Wow,
him since
that's
I was
awesome.
1 year old, but I still, took the leap of faith to like reach out to him and get on the phone with him. And after 60 minutes of essentially interviewing him, because I'm a questioner, I'm an interviewer. I do this in real life, and no matter if it's for that or if I'm just hanging out with you or if you're a random stranger, I'm an interviewer. I asked the end of that though, 60 minutes. I asked him if I could work for him for free, and over the summer before college, and said yeah, and so I got that
I love that you
experience.
pitched the free thing. Hey, why'd you pitch? Can I work for you for free? What was the intuition there?
I just wanted to say yes.
Just however I can get close to this guy to learn
Yeah.
how to model what he's done.
Exactly. Yeah. And man, I learned so much about just being a world-class personal trainer. Not like the typical personal trainer that you think of and, at the desk at LA Fitness. Like not that's like the opposite of what I'm going for here. That's very low grade personal trainer.
What are the secrets? Like, what'd you learn?
So there's just one of the like little things with like brand consistency that like personal trainers don't think about brand consistency. It's so rare that they think about that. But everything from the the clothes that he wears to it always has to be a Fiji water bottle. It can't be like he can't walk in with like Dasani. That would look so stupid. If he's charging $200 per hour, but walking in with a Dasani water bottle, like that doesn't fit. So just brand consistency across the board. Wearing like Lululemon and like Lululemon like pants. Like he's not wearing shorts to these sessions. Like he's wearing pants, almost like business casual, but for like personal trainers.
He just took it
not
up
shorts
a
and a
notch
t-shirt.
with the whole brand
took
everything
up a notch. I guess the Porsche was included in the image too, which I tried to emulate also. But yeah, that's just like a little thing that I learned. But yeah, I learned from the best and got my own certification from NASM and started having my own in-home clients, zero overhead. And
that's awesome.
And I did that. It took 2 months to like get actual clients after I got my certification, but like I actually I finally made it.
What'd you do to get the clients?
I'm glad you asked the question. I was on this app called Thumbtack. It's like for independent contractors of all sorts, and I guess I qualified as that. So like people that needed personal trainers were notified. PTs would send out quotes and with message, and you get into a dialogue with someone if they so choose to conversate with you, and they might end up hiring you. So I had someone hire me through there, and then same like day after 2 months of nothing, I found this CrossFit gym in the area, and I followed about 1,500 people that follow that CrossFit gym, and I don't know how many followed me back, minuscule amounts. But one of those people checked out my website, filled out the contact form, and was interested in working with me. And I followed so many people that I got banned for 24 hours from following people. Like that action was banned on Instagram for me. And then when I unfollowed everyone, they banned that action for me again. Like I unfollowed too many people at once. And but it worked. I got one person. And so all of a sudden I had 2 people, and it was great. And I was rocking and rolling as a 19-year-old, working for myself, generating my own income, independent of anyone else. And I was like, I can do it. I really wanted to. I thought it was possible, but now I know I'm doing it. And so my career evolved from there. And PT wasn't my thing anymore. Just wasn't my outlet anymore. And so I don't know. I mean, but I started before I even got like where it wasn't my outlet anymore. Like almost on the side, I wrote a book and started a podcast, and then those became
and that's a secret too, like the sales secret that you had mentioned with the hey, like where's the audience at that I want to sell to and work with? You found them online, you started following them, started engaging them in social media. Like that's a sales secret, and it helped you launch this like self-service home workout business. It's awesome.
Yeah. No, another sales secret too. I mean, maybe not sales, but just whatever you want to do, like you have to quit your job. Like I never quit being a personal trainer. In fact, I still haven't quit being a personal trainer because like I still keep those two that I got that first week because they're like my friends at this point 3 years later.
Awesome.
And I have no reason to stop. Like it requires 2 to 4 hours per week of my time. And I essentially get paid to hang out with friends. So like, there's no reason for me to stop.
Yeah.
But while I'm writing
it or whatever.
Yeah. While I'm writing this book though, like a year in, while I'm writing this book and starting this podcast, like I was still rocking and rolling. Like I didn't quit. You don't have to quit your day job. We're not asking you to do that. You can do that during the day and come home and hustle at night, whatever you got to do to make it work.
I agree. Like a lot of jobs, like in a lot of companies that you start, you could do it part-time. Dude, everything exactly. I did a prototype part-time and then tried to validate it. And then once validated, went all in.
Mm-hmm.
That's like the safest, smartest way to do it. If you just quit with no work done to go pursue some idea, I feel like that's the dumbest way to do it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is.
The other sales secret that you mentioned too was about brand and image, guys. Like, look the
brand consistency too. Like across the board, you can't have one thing that doesn't match. It's all got to match.
When you say match, like authenticity, be authentic to who
I guess
are?
Like no, not authentic, but like I don't think you can charge $15,000 per hour yet have a Wix website.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Makes total sense.
It's not consistent. Yeah, but yeah. So I start this
with one testimonial.
Yeah, right. Yeah, yeah.
But dude, that website was free. You can't upgrade.
Exactly. Book, podcast, and then they become the things. I mean, really, the podcast does. Books are just compliments, and they're fun to do. But and now,
what made you do the podcast? Right, like so.
I don't know. I have no idea.
Podcast
man. Like I
came before the books, right?
Same time. I mean, I started writing the book March 18th, and I started the podcast April 18th of 2018. So, but people knew about the podcast before the book. So could go either way on that.
It takes longer to do the book, and then
yeah,
that makes sense. Yeah, and that was one of the reasons why I was excited to interview you, because I don't think a lot of people have the growth mindset. Too many people are worried about being right.
Yeah.
I became limitless when I stopped giving a shit who's right or wrong.
Yeah, exactly. That and being coachable, what we were talking about before, pre-roll, and the exchange that we're doing right now. Like, I love forming these partnerships with people. I love getting coaching from the right from the right people, from the right sources.
It's got to be the right people,
Yeah, but like I'm so open to that. I have a speaking coach. I have Brandon now. I have I have my friend
I need a speaking
Lauren
coach too. Your speaking coach, is that like so you land more speaking gigs and then you just crush it?
So right now, our only focus is preparing for my TED Talk in March.
Sweet, congrats!
But after that, thank you. But after that,
huge.
Thanks. After that, that's when we're going to shift our focus to really catapulting, launching my speaking career. I've spoken before, but like I've never tried. Like if I get asked, I do it. And I haven't made money doing it yet. Like I haven't tried. So
speaking on stage in a way that sells is a whole art and science.
Sure. Yeah. But John, his name is, that's what we're going to do. I'm going to start,
that's awesome.
I'm going to start a little speaking career here and have some fun with that. And then my friend Lauren, she's teaching me all about the the coaching business and how to like actually scale that. Like, it's not even like she's, I can't even explain it right now, but she has, the way she's scaled it, like independent of her time, is just magnificent.
I've studied that.
The top 1% of 1% of coaches, like she's really a wizard at it.
That's amazing.
But yeah, being coachable, man. Yeah.
And important. Where'd you get that? Right. Like, the growth mindset. What for the audience that may not,
I got it because I'm selfish. I got it because I'm selfish. I know it's within my best self-interest to be coachable. Because I know the end result of who I am and my platform is just amplified times 100 or infinitely by doing all this learning, seeking out the resources from people who ought to know, and getting guidance and coaching from other people. Like, I know it's way better for me. I know opening up and being vulnerable in that way is and admitting that like I know nothing in this certain subject, like that really helps me. It helps me financially. It helps me in all sorts of areas.
Yeah, I think I made the most amount of money by being coachable and having a growth mindset.
Yeah,
hands down, number one.
Yeah,
like you could either be the person that thinks they know it all. You could be the person that wants to learn it all from everyone.
Yep.
Do you put those two together? Person B will out destroy person A every day of the week.
Well, I like teaching too. I like knowing it all and teaching it all when I, the certain things that I know, because when you teach something, you get to learn it twice.
Yeah. Learn it, figure out how to communicate it smarter, better, quicker. Yeah, that's amazing, man. So yeah, I mean, we could go all different angles. Talk to me about so it took you the year to do the book. Talk to me about landing all of these different partnerships. All the interviews.
Joe, yeah.
Like, because no one knows you. You're a kid that launches the Growth Mindset podcast and is
Growth Mindset University. Growth
Mindset University. That's going to also write the book. And like, now you got to get people on it.
Yeah.
What was the process from like? I love how you walked us through the weightlifting and training story. Walk me through like going from idea of I want to do this to actually doing it.
Yeah, I mean, it was side effect of imperfect action is that I put it out at MVP. It sucked. A minimum viable product. Like it wasn't good, but it didn't matter because I didn't have a platform. I didn't have followers, so people didn't judge me on that. Now today, if I were to put out an MVP of this new like I don't know, if I were to put out a product that 35,000 people were gonna, all my followers were gonna like get today, like it could ruin my reputation, like because now I have this built up following. I can't put out something crappy. That's something that Rand Fishkin talks about, like in Lost and Founder, his book, that if Apple were to put out an MVP today, like that would just be that would ruin the reputation. It doesn't work. It works with a small company. It works with a small individual like me at the time with just starting this podcast. Like it didn't matter. I was just doing it to do it. So it sucked. And started growing as I was going, figuring it out along the way. And it turned out well. But how do I get these people? Yeah, I have these
like
very personalized.
The first 10, right? Like, were they big? Were they small?
No,
did you want it to be super small? So if you fuck up, it doesn't matter.
No, I didn't have any aim. I really didn't. I didn't shoot very high. Nah. But I don't know. I got a few big guests eventually, and then started.
That was probably the first. That was probably the first time. You got my audio? You could hear me, right?
Yeah.
Cool. Zoom is acting up a little bit. It's not showing me the mics. Was that the first time you were on video or audio before?
Yes.
Did it fuck with your head a little bit?
No, I don't care.
Okay, cool. Yeah. That's a secret though, right? Your growth mindset, like, is that a secret? Like, how do you become, I don't care? 99% of the world cares about what their friends think, their family thinks, their wives think, their girlfriends, their boyfriends. There's so much pressure to look and be amazing to everyone. You were just talking about Instagram earlier, right? Like, you got to look perfect, be perfect. How'd you get the confidence to not give a shit to then just, I'm going to do this and I'm going to go?
I don't know, man. You're not with me. Fuck you. I don't care. Like, I really don't. Like, I just don't. Not even fuck you. Like, if you're not with me, I don't care. Like, I could give less of a fuck. Like, I just, I'm having fun. I'm helping people and I'm making money. Like, why? I have those three things. Why do I care? Like, if you're with me or against me. Like, I love, my favorite thing, Brandon, is when people reach out to me and tell me that they had to unfollow me because of like XYZ. And I'm like, oh my God, I will never recover. Like, I will never, I am in mourning. Like,
it's like, or you could have just read that and try to learn something from it. Like, don't be a drama queen or king.
It's the people that reach out to me and say that, I wonder about the psychology behind that. Like, they need to, I don't know what it is.
Right. Like, why even waste the time?
It's a bizarre thing, man.
Don't even waste the time to read. Like, I mean, like, being growth mindset, it's good to like, okay, why do they feel that way? What could I optimize in the messaging? Or
yeah, I know, but you can't please everyone. Everyone. So
no, it's terrible. You can't.
I think there are cases when it's like good to like think about that stuff but I feel like if you read every comment, every message, and get in your thoughts about every single one of them, like it's a very bad thing, a very toxic thing, and it has a net negative effect. So I just choose to not really care, and just proceed. Yeah. If it's somebody who's like, what's up?
I said you have to just keep moving on, or else it will paralyze.
Yeah. But like, if it's somebody who's like, who I know, who's like, maybe they're successful in my eyes, maybe they're just not, maybe they're not a random stranger reaching out to me. If it's someone like credible, then maybe that's worth listening to. But like random strangers, I find it best to just screw that shit.
Yep. So you were really like, I just want to launch the Growth Mindset University, interview experts, learn from them so that I can benefit. Is that pretty much like the preface to where it all started? And when I say so I can benefit, it's just like so I can learn and grow. And maybe other people can learn and grow from that experience.
Yes. And it was, I don't know, thought it might be fun. But I do want to answer your question is like how. I have these email templates.
Yeah, how? That's a big one. Everyone's going to want to know.
I have these email templates. I have initial cold outreach email. I have several follow-ups, and I have and then a contingency plan if you still haven't booked them on your podcast to maybe get them on your podcast later, 6 months down the line. But and I go over
contingency plan.
Yeah, so the contingency plan that
that. I haven't heard of a contingency podcast plan before.
Well, sure, yeah. It's nothing crazy. If they don't respond to any of your 4 emails that you send that I go over in the podcast playbook, then you follow up or you make an appointment in your calendar 6 to 12 months later. If you've received no responses at all, 6 to 12 months later, and then repeat the process, and I almost guarantee like it'll work. Actually, it works more. So like if they do respond to one of your emails, but like say no, then you respond, then you make an appointment in your calendar to follow up, 3-4 months down the line. And though that works like every time, you just repeat the process and
I love it.
But yeah, I go over all these, I go over the templates in my, and they're very personalized too, in my book. And, there's a reason behind every line. It's all rooted in human behavior and communication. My favorite things to study. It's not random, and I've iterated and improved upon it, as time's gone on, and, just change different words and I
love that, dude.
Yeah.
Do you have like an example, like, not, you could state the exact example, but like, let's just say, because we run Sales Secrets from the Top 1%. And let's just say you're like, hey, Brandon's got the 15 books. He's got the podcast. He's got his company. I want to interview him. And Seamless.ai, the world's best sales leads. Like if you were like, Brandon, like how would you, so the audience gets some value on cold emailing for podcasts that maybe could also be applied to sales or anything. Like, I'd love to, actually. And by the way, this book is brand new. It just came out. Hit top of the rankings on Amazon, guys. You can pick it up right now, and then the Kindle isn't even live yet because Amazon is still fucking processing the file to make it live. Which is hilarious.
It's live. They're just on. They haven't merged the pages yet. There's a paperback sales page and there's a Kindle page. Yeah, it's a little janky right now, but I don't know. Should I like give the whole thing?
Go for it. Let's feature the book, man. It just came out today. Let's
this was to Rand Fishkin, and someone I'd been following for many years, and I think I reached out to him over summer.
This is awesome. So you literally took like the templates of what you used exactly and put it into the book.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's great. Because that's what people want to hear. They don't want to hear the psychological bullshit of like the theory. People care about the theory, but it's like just show, like salespeople want to know, like,
this is what I did.
Do I say?
Yeah. Exactly. So I said, "Dear Rand," next line. "I'm sure you receive quite the abundance of emails, so this will be quick." Next line. "I've been a longtime user of Moz," his SEO company, "which has been invaluable to my business. Thank you for creating it. Now, having recently discovered SparkToro's fake follower audit tool, I am having a ton of fun with that." Next paragraph. "I'm 21 years old and have interviewed James Altucher, Mark Manson, Kevin Rudolph, Evan Carmichael, Dan Locke, and others. I'd love to add you to this mix and create something special. My show," next paragraph, "my show, Growth Mindset University," linked, if there's a lot of reviews on the podcast, I which for mine there are, I link it to the Apple podcast page. "My show, Growth Mindset University, is all about learning the lessons we should have learned in school but didn't to help people succeed in this progressive new age of business. And the honor would be entirely mine to host you. We can promote Lost and Founder and SparkToro." Next paragraph. Double binding question. "Do you want to propose a few dates and times, or is it easier to go ahead and secure your spot really quickly on our calendar?" Again, totally get how busy you are, so even a short reply would be great. Cheers to manufacturing amazing, Jordan. And so I break it down, line by line, paragraph by paragraph. There's a static component, like, "I'm sure you received quite the abundance of email," blah, 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 And
I love that too, because it's like basically saying like, "Hey man, I know you're super popular. I know you're super busy.
Right. Yeah.
I want to respect you as a top expert."
Sure. So, and then the next paragraph is, I show them that I care, and that I've been impacted by their work and like the level of respect I have for them without like gloating too much. You don't want to overdo it here. You don't want to like write 2 paragraphs here. Like,
but how amazing they are, because then it's a little uncomfortable.
1 to 3 lines. And then next paragraph, say who I am and my credibility. And I name drop, seriously, past credible guests and give the person I'm reaching out to an opportunity to be associated with these past credible guests. I'd love for you to join the mix. And then I say what my show is all about and what I want to help them promote, right? If I have
what's in it for them? WIITM. What's in it for them?
Like I said, if I have social proof and credibility in the form of a lot of ratings and reviews on Apple Podcasts, I link the show. I recommend people do that. And then I finish up with an elaborate double binding question that gives them the illusion of choice, when in reality, both outcomes are favorable to me. Do you want to propose a few dates and times, or is it easier to go ahead and secure your spot real quickly on our calendar? And then an extremely subtle guilt trip to boost response rates. again, totally get how busy you are. So even a short reply would be great. Like, oh, you're too busy. I know you're too busy for me. Right. And then a unique ending, the cheers to manufacturing amazing Jordan. And that's how I roll.
That
and then there's follow-ups
too.
Yeah.
That the unique ending's great. And then, you basically give like a double trial close. It's like, hey, let me know if you like what few times work for you, or here's a link and just let me know.
Yeah.
Like,
and so
either way, good or bad, get back to me, man. That would be great.
Yeah. So all of this combined together, it provides for a very high response rate. I really wonder what the response rate is if I were to calculate it. And I really wonder what the average response rate is when reaching out to, because look, you have to consider too, I mean, my response rate might be 40, 50%. You have to consider the people that I'm reaching out to. I'm not reaching out to Joe Schmo to be on my podcast. Like, I'm reaching out to the busiest people and the world. Really important people, like that everyone knows. So that, I like, because I used to Brandon, when it was this time last year, January of 2019, nobody had ever said no to me. I was 100% yes, 100% response. Why? Because I wasn't reaching out to anyone like busy and important. Epic. Epic. Yeah. So yeah.
Dude, that's
I shared
amazing.
a lot there. Yeah.
I love that script. Give the audience a quick preview of, like, in your mind, because you worked on it for a year, what's in the book? Like, sure. what can we get from the book if we picked it up? Because this is something that I'm doing, obviously, like with the growth mindset that Jordan preaches, writes about, in the books and the podcast. It's like, you got to learn something from everyone. Like, we run a podcast. We don't know what the hell we're doing. We're trying to learn from Jordan. We're trying to learn from anyone out there. Like,
and I don't
know.
You're gonna in our sessions to come in the next.
I can't wait. Yeah, I'm Jordan's first course beta customer.
Yeah.
So today, January 8th, 2020, Jordan is launching the course. We don't know what it's called yet, but it's going to give you everything you need and more to launch and grow the best podcast you could ever do in your life as fast as humanly possible, without endless time and money wasted on ad spend or doing things that don't work.
Sure. Yeah. I'll give you a preview of the book. So, I talk about how to make people like give a damn, right? That's the name of the chapter, how to make people give a damn. And a lot of things that go into that. How to interview. When you say like give a damn, you mean like about how to make people care
topic?
Care about your podcast.
Got it.
Yeah. How to make your podcast like actually something to look forward to.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Part of people's compelling future. Your podcast is part of their compelling future. Like, they look forward to it. They look forward to Monday at 4 a.m. when it comes out. Yeah. How to interview. And I'm not like the all-knowing source here. I draw on the greats and their wisdom here. I'm a big student of interviewing. And now, since I've finished writing this book, I just have so much more to add to this chapter. I'm going to write an article. And it's within the next year, it's going to be a really good article. Like, that's why it's going to take a long time. But anyway, how to get big guests. Now there's like a caveat here, like, don't play celebrity bingo, just checking off the boxes, just getting big guests just to like show off. But but I go over all that, and I go over the.
Who's your biggest guest, you think? Just curious. I've got two questions. Who is your biggest? Let's go over that one first, and then I've got another really, really good one.
It's a collection, man. Like Mark Manson, The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck. Like, I mentioned,
great book.
That's like the icebreaker. Like, if people, I never tell people about my career, my podcast, but if people like ask me and people find out, within it, like a group setting or just meeting new people, whatever, like I'll tell. I'll ask, I'll tell people and I'm like, oh, Mark Manson, right? And nobody says no. Like, no one says no. Like, so some people might say no to Mark Manson, but then I say The Subtle Art of Not. Yeah, the credit. Yeah,
that's a sales secret. Like dropping other top customers, other top players, other top industry
Yeah.
It's social proof.
Sure.
Drop social proof.
Yeah, exactly.
Love that.
Yeah. And I think some people would like, go against that. Like, don't name drop, don't be like that. But like, I'm all for it. And it's very beneficial.
Why wouldn't you name? Why do they?
There's a real, right. There's a real purpose to this social proof. Like if other people are doing it, then it must be good. If other people are working with you, then you must be good. If these people are working with you, then you must be real good. But, if people don't know Mark Manson, which, most people do, then I just say the subtle art of not giving a fuck. And everyone knows it. Like no one says no. But then I go, then I talk about like guest relations in chapter 5, like for example, like when and when not to ask for a share. There's some really good stuff in there. That's one of my favorite chapters. Tools and technology. That's nothing new. I've shared that before. It's in my free podcast course. And then the best selling podcaster, how to build a business around your podcast.
Who's the best selling podcaster? Without
ad revenue. I guess I'm the best selling podcaster. And then market like a champ.
I love it.
Yeah, self-proclaimed. Yeah,
self-proclaimed. I'm the number one.
I go over the marketing. Market like a champ. A lot of different things in there. I go over, video is the way, LinkedIn, a little bit of paid advertising, 1-minute videos, content roadmap that I share with my clients and work with them on. I think that's one of my favorite parts of the book. And then, that's really like, that's most of it. Yeah. That's awesome. That's the podcast playbook, man.
I'm excited to read it just because it's something that we want to do. And it sounds like there's a lot of things that, yes, it's for building, growing a podcast, but there's strategies and tips and best practices in the book and in the free course that Jordan's got that you can apply to anything you sell or market.
Absolutely.
It's all applicable to prospecting. Jordan is prospecting some of the most busiest, hardest to reach, connect, book people in the world. And he's mastered that. What is he doing to book them? What is he doing to sell them? What is he doing to close them? Which he just shared with us the template earlier. He's got the book. Like I'm looking to read that book for 2 reasons. 1, what can I learn to apply to sales and sell faster? And 2, what can I learn to grow my audience, my brand, our podcast so that we can help more people? And I think part of the key to the growth mindset is like, you got to look for things in other domains that you could apply to everything.
Mm-hmm.
Don't be like, oh, I don't give a fuck about this episode because it's about growing a podcast. It's like, no, to book the world's busiest people in the world on your calendar is a sales pitch, is a sales pursuit, is prospecting and closing. How do you do that?
I think it's worth noting too that I've never once publicly like sold. Like I don't post on social media these hard CTAs, like asking for money for some product or service. Never done that. Like I just get people into my podcast, and then from there, like I make things happen. And
that's awesome, man.
But yeah, on social media, you won't find me, saying, hey, sign up for our agency services, man. agency.jordanparis.com. You won't find me doing that. But
yeah, I don't really.
But I'm also looking to like learn from you too. Like I've actually been thinking, what if I were to do that? And I was thinking of experimenting, because maybe a lot of people will be like, yeah, but maybe it would be beneficial to my bottom line to blast that out to 35,000 people. And I'm looking forward to like talking about that with you in our I binary think coaching sessions over the next month,
The way that you and I do it, I'm a very similar way, dude. No one wants to sit there and hear you post about how amazing your product is. No one gives a shit about you.
Yeah.
No one gives a shit about what you can do and what you need and what you want. It's all about them, right?
Yeah.
So everything that I post, sales secrets, strategies, system, playbooks, templates, scripts, everything I do is to help people make more money. And I just fundamentally believe if I make as many deposits as possible to help people make more money, I will make more money, helping them make more money. And
that's a key, man. That's a key that I'm like trying to figure out more and more every day. Like, how do I make more money for my clients? How do I, like, because I want to be able to say, like, for every dollar you spend with me, you're going to see 5 in return. And it just makes it a no-brainer for everyone to be with you, for every podcaster to be with me. And I'm working on that right now. You know, that's a sales secret. That's good.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and like with the social media, like, you know, that part's easy. It's just deliver value on the topic and the audience, like what they care about. And you can promote what you do subtly, right? Like, I think for every 100 posts, I may mention my company like 2 to 5%. I don't really mention my fucking company at all. There's a lot of, you know, we get 1 million views a month on LinkedIn, and I think more than probably half the people don't even know what we do. And it's weird, but I'm okay with that. Like, over time, the long tail, like, you know, people followed Gary Vaynerchuk because of Wine Library, and they couldn't even drink wine, you know? Right. And over the long tail, like, it's just, those deposits just pay off. I think, you know, but the people that are like, damn, Jordan just posted this badass podcasting tip. Who is this guy? Oh, he's got the book. He's got the free course. He's got the agency. Okay. He's got so much credibility now. So when I do look into what this guy does and what he offers, when when they talk to you about the agency, it's like instant close rate because you've delivered so much value and you've shown so much credibility that this is like a no-brainer done.
They already made up their mind. I will say about mentioning, you know, company, like, I like to weave it into the story. At least Growth Mindset University. Like, I almost always weave Growth Mindset University and mention it on LinkedIn and within the story of like so many of my posts. And I think that helps me a lot.
I think that's smart. I love that. Right. Like, cause that's documenting what you're doing every day.
Yeah. I don't put like at the end of the post at Growth Mindset University. Like, it's within, I know a lot of people do that, but it's weaved in the story. It's either weaved in the story or it's not there at all.
Yep. That makes sense. I love it. Who was the hardest guest to book?
Oh, okay.
The number one hardest guest. And what was that sales process like?
Gosh. Yeah. I want to say Alex Benayan, off the top of my head. I don't know if you've heard of him. He wrote a book called The Third Door, one of my favorite books. And he's actually kind of my age. I mean, he's probably like 5 years older. Yeah, he's 26, 27. I forget.
What is the book about?
Oh, it's really hard to explain, but pretty much he's, you know, this college student that goes on this wild chase to interview like Bill Gates and Lady Gaga and Maya Angelou, and, you know, find out how these successful people like made it. You know, because he's in college and he's reading, you know, he's like he's reading trying to read this biology textbook, but it just ends up being a disaster, and goes on the Wheel of Fortune and wins, and to fund this journey of his, so he could travel to these people. And it's actually like,
that's wild.
The best part of the book is like, he didn't intend this to be the best part of the book, but the best part of the book is the journey, his personal journey of making this happen, not like the interviews of these people, which he does eventually do. But I found the journey much, much better than it was a great book, really great book. I remember a lot of it, and I read it like a year ago.
And he was the hardest to get.
Yeah, man. I reached out to him immediately after I listened to his book on Audible in, I think it was March of 2019. And I went through all my follow-ups. Nothing, man. Radio silence and
no dice.
Yeah. And then I reached out in October of 19. You know, I put the appointment in my calendar to follow up, And
which was like what, like 90 days, half a year? How long?
That was so March to October. So, or I mean, I sent my last email to him in April, because I do like 1 to 2 weeks,
like
or
7 months,
3 weeks in between. So yeah, month 4 to month 10. Yeah. And then I went through my exact same process again. I sent my initial cold outreach email, and then I literally said, P.S. I know this is the second time I'm reaching out to you this year. So if you need me to back off, just let me know.
I love that. Like that respectful, like, hey dude, I know I'm doing this again. I'm going to be in your inbox again.
And saying that gave me the excuse to like send almost the exact same email. Because I acknowledge, like, I know this I sent this exact thing. But anyway, and then he finally responded. He's like, let's do it. Smiley face. And then I asked, and then I was like, you want to propose a few dates and times, or is it easier to secure your spot really quickly on the calendar?
Oh, hold on. So he responded to the first email of the 7 months later outreach, or 9 months later.
Yeah. He responded to that email with, let's do this. Didn't really answer the question of like,
you're just like, what the fuck? Why did you say yes now?
Yeah, exactly that. And so I think, who was it? I interviewed someone who he's like really close friends with, and then in that time period, and I got to mention him. So I think that might have like changed things.
Helped.
Gosh, I forget who it was, but anyway, he didn't really answer my question as to like, you want to secure your spot on the calendar, or do you want to propose a few dates and times in that first email? So then when he said, let's do it, or he maybe said, let's make it happen. Then I was like, then I repeated the question, and he didn't answer for like 11 days. And then I followed up again. I was like, just bumping this up in your inbox. And then he made it happen. Then he proposed a few dates and times. And then we had to do some like shuffling around because there's things that popped up on his schedule, but we finally made it happen end of November. And it's not like that crazy of a story, but
that was like a year, right? Year and a half, or a year?
Like 7-8 months.
Okay.
Yeah. And that's
got it. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's a pursuit.
Yeah, and I'm like juggling a lot of those balls right now that'll end up in that 8 month acquisition time period.
Yeah. Watching the like long tail CPA of the podcast.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's funny. I've got a few of those now. It's hard. The high profile people, it's so hard. It's tough, but I love it. I mean, so the secret to getting a lot of the high profile interviews is everything that you kind of went over, right? It's like adding value, showcasing the value, showcasing the social proof, being relentless in follow up. What else, would you share with the audience on the keys or secrets there?
I think that's it. Like, yeah. I don't want to try and concoct something out of like, just because you asked the question, but I think that like covers it. The only thing I would say, I guess, learn about human behavior. Go learn that. Go read The Laws of Human Nature by Robert Greene. Go read. You just want to learn where humans came from and and who we understand human beings better. Read *Sapiens*, the first section of that book. You'll learn a lot about human beings in a roundabout, and human behavior in a roundabout way.
And when you say human behavior, like what do you mean, and why? Like, why should anyone give a damn about that? What does that mean?
I don't know the definition of human behavior. I think it's self-explanatory. But just who we are,
like
and our tendencies, changed. Right? Our nature. Human nature, right?
Because you'll just be able to understand how people tick and why.
And you'll be able to engineer human behavior too. Like,
got it.
Read the Ellipsis Manual, Analysis and Engineering of Human Behavior by Chase Hughes. Read Captivate, The Science of Succeeding with People by Vanessa Van Edwards. If you haven't read How to Win Friends and Influence People, it's basic. That's like if we're creating a human behavior and communication and human nature textbook, How to Win Friends and Influence People is like the forward / introduction. Really basic stuff. You kind of need it. Yeah, you need it, but like, whatever. Captivate: The Science of Succeeding with People by Vanessa Van Edwards. My hero. That's like How to Win Friends and Influence People, but like the science of it. So I really appreciate that book. And that was one of her favorite books. So it literally is the science of it. And then I think, Phil is saying great audiobook. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Vanessa. I think he means Vanessa's book, but
yeah.
Read those books, man. Those are important if you want to learn how to do this whole process captivate. Better. Yeah.
The last two questions of the podcast. How do you stay so motivated, and why are you so motivated?
Because it's fun. I help people and I make money. It's just a way of life. Like, this is my life. And
it just drives you.
Yeah. Because I've designed this pretty cool life. Like, I came back from Israel the other day, and I was thinking the whole time I'm over in Israel, like, I'm having this cloud nine experience and this top level experience. And I'm like wondering, am I going to be, I didn't think about business once. I'm like wondering, am I going to be disappointed when I come back? Am I like, what's my life going to be like when I come back? And
wow.
But I've designed a pretty cool life for myself. Like, I've hit the ground running and been happier than ever. Like, yes, like I don't have to go back to a 9-to-5 job. Like, this is really awesome. I had nothing to worry about.
Yeah, that's amazing. It's funny. My first company, I was in your neck of the woods. So I would live, when my school would take a break, I was in Fort Myers and FGCU for months. And then when school went back into break, I flew back to Ohio, where my college was. Dude, I love it out there.
Yeah, it's not bad, man.
Out there and everything.
Nice.
And then I moved up to, I didn't get a place in Clearwater. I love Clearwater and St. Pete now, so I went up that way. But okay, so you stay motivated. We got that. Audience is now dying to know one last question. Whole reason for the interview. If you had to boil down everything you've learned, everything that has helped you level up, everything throughout your life, your career, everything you've done, what is your number one top sales secret for the audience to maximize their success?
Don't take life too seriously. Be human. Like, don't be afraid to say what you're thinking. Like, just say it, smile, laugh, and the other person will smile and laugh too. It doesn't matter what you say. Like, just say what comes to mind and smile and laugh, and it'll all work out okay.
Okay. So don't take life too seriously.
Yeah.
That's kind of like, be happy, be authentic.
I mean, like people are like, thinking like, what are the consequences if I say this? Like, what are, and now within reason, you shouldn't say like, derogatory things that'll get you in trouble. But, people like, they're thinking too much. I'm like, just stop, just like do it, just say it, like, and live with it, just live.
And then how does the audience execute that secret? Because I know a lot of people are like, okay, I should just say it. I should just have the courage. I should be happy. Like, what is your tip for, like, how did you execute that? Yeah, no,
it's not that hard. It's not that hard. You say what comes to mind and you smile and laugh. Like, next time you're you're with someone, you're with a group and you're like thinking about saying something, it's like bubbling to the surface of your mind, and normally you'd be like, let it go, and you don't say anything, but like, just speak up and say it, and don't worry about how you say it. Don't worry about what people are going to think about how you say it. Like, you just do it and you smile and you laugh.
I love that. I'm going to sneak another secret in. Last one, promise. So Apple's number 15 podcast, right? What was the key to doing, like, how?
Apple's rankings are pretty, I don't know what goes into it. I think it was just a good surge. Like nothing really changed Like, I don't
Was
know,
it just
man.
like
It's
just keep recording episodes with great people to try to deliver value to the audience, and like that just helped consistently? Or was it like this secret SEO keyword stuffing algorithm on Apple
just
iTunes?
Everything in the podcast playbook and Marketing Like a Champ just continued.
That's awesome.
Over time.
That's crazy. How many downloads do you have now?
I don't share that publicly.
Yeah, I don't even know if is that how they rank podcast downloads, or what do they rank it by?
I really have no idea. Like, because I swear I've seen it before where I get this like surge of ratings and reviews and my rankings like go way up. But then other people say like ratings have nothing to do with it. So we're all just guessing and theorizing here.
Weird.
It's a little weird. Man. Yeah. And Apple will never say anything about it, man. Yeah, they like to create that air of mystery around things, which is great.
Bastards. Yeah. Awesome. Well, Jordan Paris, host of the Growth Mindset University, Apple's top 15 educational podcast, author of the podcast Playbook, author of the Growth Mindset, my man. Where can the audience learn from you, follow you, connect with you for more?
Hey, jordanparis.com, and check out Growth Mindset University. That's it.
Awesome. Jordan, thank you for sharing all of your top secrets to success on today's episode. And audience, thanks for tuning in to Sales Secrets from the Top 1%, where the world's best sales experts share their secrets to sales success. You can watch this episode and get a chapter of the book at secretsalesbook.com. That's secretsalesbook.com, secretsalesbook.com. And stay tuned for future episodes every week. Thank you.